Here, he got into walking malls, you know, probably late 70s, early 80s. He passed away at 82, so late 70s. And it was a way to get his steps in, if you will, to keep going. And in a way, it is like if people are motorized, you just keep going, keep going, keep going. Hopefully nothing comes in, any, you know, before need be to ruin that, like the pandemic. But he actually wound up with coronavirus and actually passed away. We won't get into the conspiracy theory surrounding the timing of it and what his wife actually did. They actually flew during the pandemic, and they never fly. They always drove, but they were too old to fly. My dad was vulnerable. He had stomach stents. So anyway, the whole timing of it, the whole thing is too much for me. I do see people as murderers if they would invite them to fly for Thanksgiving that year. So we'll just leave it at that. So anyway, the mall here, you know, it's, you know, all bright and white and cleaner. This has more of a city edge to it here, but it resembled so much the modern mall that my dad was walking that I was like, that is crazy. Very similar with, you know, how many levels, looking up, the way the Starbucks is laid out. So I guess, I don't know if Starbucks has taken up residence in a lot of new malls, and they have these like little seating areas in the mall. Louis, Andrea, and Carlos. Fashion District. It used to be the Gallery or the Galleria. You can see the little red sign, like PSFS up there. That's the Philadelphia Savings Fund Society. Next to it, there's a big radio tower. You can barely see it because of the fog. I call it London fog, but that's on Lowe's. Lowe's is the only one without a truncated radio. So many other buildings, the radio tower was taken down or truncated. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if these buildings decided all of a sudden they didn't need the radio towers or whatever they're called, but it's still on Lowe's. I don't know if they snipped the top. No, it looks pretty tall and sharp and pointy, so still there. But many other buildings have gotten rid of their radio towers, and it makes me wonder what the radio towers were for exactly, and how much information is broadcasted to the brains of a mass population. I would wonder that. There are people out here and they can't figure out how they got the words so easily. Words don't come easy to me. Da 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 da. So that's a song that goes around, and they usually show like stars and their evolution and morphing through life. They had one on Val Kilmer. Usually they put it to men. Words don't come easy to me. So, if words didn't come easy, and for a lot of people have a hard time speaking. I had to go through the process of becoming a writer. Many years. I earned a living for quite a long time as a writer, booming like a champion, Xfinity, down Broad Street. Ooh, Broad Street Run, booming like a champion. So, anyway, booming down Broad Street. Is that about the Broad Street Run? Little mockery through advertising. Who joins in with a Broad Street Run these days? Good question. A lot of game players who learn something. Spy, specialty products of Italy. So words don't come easy. Most people have a hard time communicating perfectly in the world. We see people on news stations, they seem highly educated, and many of them have gone to good schools. That's not necessarily the question, but a lot of people go to really great schools, but they still can't articulate that perfectly. And also look good and have good mannerisms and come across a certain way. That is actually made and created. That is a skill. Anyway, if words didn't come easily, then maybe people need sometimes, in order to help people along, or to create a class divide. And they could use it either which way. They will allow words to come easier to people who either aren't made and or didn't have the opportunity to get an education. It's hard to explain. So I grew up barely speaking at all, and I went through writing, and writing became my form of expression. I went through a very harsh and rigorous process to be able to speak like I do today. So it's, you know, we'll just leave it at that. Fearless Shakira, hard rock plus Shakira. There was an odd sort of jewelry heist, I guess, and shooting a woman shot in DuPont Circle in Washington, D.C. a few days ago. And in front of the Truist Bank at that, it's also a station, I noticed a sculpture that's like a brown diamond shape. And immediately I thought of that signage over there with a wolf on top of the diamond. And this Shakira, I don't know if she has a tour, if the wolf on the diamond is associated with her tour, Fearless. I don't really know. I meant to look her up because she has like shown up lately. But that diamond, the same shape, is in front of where there was a shooting at the DuPont Circle station in Washington, D.C. So I'm wondering, I do think about things like this. Is there a connection? And oddly enough, just before the shooting, I was walking around here and I saw, I would see like kind of lookalikes of Shakira, like people who have her same features and sort of have a same essence, if you will. I would call it an essence. And people sort of can resemble each other. And you wonder if it's a lineage that shows up all over the place. So I kept meaning to look up Shakira yesterday. I forgot. So she's shown up on ads and everything. Mom's Organic Soup, grocery store down there. It's less of a supermarket, more of a grocery store.